In this video, we're going to be covering Much Ado About Nothing. We're going to cover a short summary and then themes. And if you stay until the very end of this video, I'll make sure to link you to a few additional resources that you'll definitely find helpful, including sample essay topics and an essay topic breakdown that you can go away and practice with. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Lisa, and I used to be a shoddy English student turned A+ student, turned pharmacist, turned entrepreneur. So on this channel, we cover all things related to English study advice to help you get that A+, but also careers and life advice so that when you exit school, you are equipped for real life. Throughout this video, I'll be connecting the ideas here to modern real life examples so that you get why you're studying this text and can take something meaningful away from it. Because I don't want you to be studying English just for the sake of studying English, because that makes things boring for everyone. Let's start off with summary. Much Ado About Nothing is one of Shakespeare's classic comedies and is in fact the most performed of his play, even more than Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet. While it was also popular in Shakespeare's time, its themes are still very contemporary. Much Ado About Nothing is a story about mixed up love, lies and deceit, themes that are still prevalent in current hit movies like To All the Boys I've Loved Before or 10 Things I Hate About You. The banter between Beatrice and Benedict is amusing and ridiculous, and the ensuing drama between Hero and Claudio is probably not far off from modern drama in the relationships of your friends. Much Ado About Nothing explores themes of love, the ways that we can be opposed to love in relationships, the position of women and necessity of marriage, and the ways we can deceive each other and ourselves. If you've ever felt attracted to someone who really pushed your buttons, felt a spark with someone the first time you met them, experienced your friend's relationship drama, said that you'd put off relationships because study is more important, or maybe even played matchmaker between two people, then this play is relevant for you. Love is a beautiful and frustratingly unavoidable part of life, and Shakespeare shows us the many ways in which people can react to this and manipulate this for their own desires. This play uses comedy to reassure us that mistakes and misunderstandings in love are an innate part of humanity as we struggle to communicate how we feel towards another person. Further, it's a play about how we stage these relationships to one another and questions whether true love needs an audience at all. As you'll see, it's very much a play about appearance and reality, and deception and truth. These are the kinds of questions that humanity will always face when dealing with love. Themes. Marriage and its effects on freedom. Marriage acts as the primary source of drama that unfolds in the play, and the main factor that drives its romantic plot forward. Much Ado About Nothing explores the paramount importance the Elizabethan society placed upon the notion of marriage, and the threat this often placed upon the free will of many individuals. This is primarily perceivable in the characters of Benedict, who compares the married men to a tame and lifeless animal, and Beatrice, who disparages the idea of saccharine romance and thus mocks all her wooers of suit. By the way, if there are any words I use throughout this video that you don't understand or they're new pieces of vocab, here's a hot tip for you. Write it down, get familiar with how you write it in a sentence, and use it in your essays. I promise you it'll be handy. Chastity and family honor. Much Ado About Nothing also examines the social concept that women should act gracefully and stay chaste until marriage in order to bring honor to a family. Claudio's public rejection and public humiliation of Hero during their wedding ceremony acts as the climax of the plot and a direct representation of the societal values in the Elizabethan era. Shakespeare assumes an arguably feminist stance in his implied denouncement of this despotic treatment of women, who were expected to lose all social standing if they happened to lose their virginity before marriage. The extent of this cruelty is emphasized by the harsh, obliterative words of Leonardo, as in his belief that Hero is unchaste. He proclaims his own daughter as stained and fallen into a pit of ink, having brought dishonor upon his entire family. Before I move into the next two themes, I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I have links to extra resources in the description box for you. The first one is a blog where I talk about everything covered in this video here in more detail, so themes, symbols, but also I cover sample essay topics you can practice with and an essay topic breakdown that you can use in your own learning. If you find all this really helpful, I'd also recommend you have a look at my Much Ado About Nothing study guide. In this guide, I cover all the points mentioned previously, but also it includes 5 essays based on the essay topics I've given you, fully written out and annotated so that you can see into the mind of a high-achieving English student. Let's move into deception. Much of the play's plot is driven by both accidental and deliberate deception, of which almost character is a victim. False language in Much Ado About Nothing is so prevalent that it obliterates the truth and forms an alternate kind of society, in which characters assume the very roles chosen for them by the lies spread about them by others. For example, the rumors that Benedict and Beatrice are in love lead to their marriage, and Hero is treated as a whore by her own father due to Claudio's denunciation of her as every man's hero. Despite this, Shakespeare examines both the positive and detrimental effects of such deceit, just as the duping of Claudio and Don Pedro culminates in Hero's social demise. Her fake death also allows her to reconcile with Claudio and attain her public redemption. Perception and reality. The defining characteristic of Much Ado About Nothing is that nothing of material actually happens in the plot, other than marriage. There are no real fights, deaths, trials, illnesses, or sexual encounters. The only perceivable change in the play is the perception of the various events and characters, such as whether Hero is a virgin or whether Claudio and Benedict will fight. Hence its name, Much Ado About Nothing. I want you to think about perceptions in your own life. What perceptions do others have of you? And what perceptions do you have of other people? When have you looked at somebody from afar, made a judgment on them, and then realized that it was completely wrong when you actually had a conversation with them? I'll now direct you to a playlist where I have included my essay structure advice and essay writing advice for you, because I know that for your next step, we'll probably be using a lot of this information and converting it into an essay. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!